Good morning and welcome to another. These
not
graphics
morning.
are terrible. It's all part of the same day, Kevin.
This audio is terrible too.
This week we're talking about some stuff, non spoiler, but we're gonna talk about Snyder Cut. We're gonna talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're gonna talk about Instagram and some secrets that Andrew found out about.
No, we're not talking about that.
But with me is my usual friend and
Do it for the gram, Andrew. Do it for the gram.
my wall neighbor, Andrew. Then Jason's here,
I heard that.
and then Kevin's here. And I'm
Sorry for the
Dennis.
background, by the way. I'm currently living in a living room.
Yes.
With all my
That's
stuff.
why they call it a living room.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are living wrong, man.
I know. I don't know,
I
man.
live
You're
in
supposed to
my
have a
bedroom.
bed in the bedroom.
I live in my bedroom, and that makes it my living room.
Apparently, I do drugs on my bed, even though I haven't done drugs before.
I've never done drugs, but for some reason, I have a drug bed.
Yeah, I'm doing my laundry, and my bed was given to me from someone, and it's just a dirty bed.
It's a crack house mattress. That's what that is.
And that 5-year-old must have been doing
really
some hard
does
stuff, man. But
I can't do used beds, man. I just the poorest I've ever been in my life. I still,
This is why you do couches.
I'll do used couches. Like I slept on. I used to essentially couch surf for so long, but I would not get a used bed. Like this is the closest thing to a proper used bed that I've ever gotten, and it was from somebody's deceased mother, but she never slept in it. She bought it, she didn't like it, so she slept in a different bed in a different room and just left the mattress alone. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it.
yeah, I slept on a cot for a while. That hurt. Like it was a metal frame with just like the canopy put on it. I slept on that for like a year. I went to the paint store.
It's freaking week, like scouting trips for Boy Scouts. I hated those things.
Yeah, I did it for a year, and also someone decided to get. So we had I slept in the closet that had the wallpaper books in it. So one of the chicks, Norma was her name. She goes in there and she steps on the middle of it, and what happened was where the legs go, it was like this. So like when I slept, my legs would divot like this, and I'd be straight up here. That's why I have more of a bad back than I probably would have.
Well, you also fell on it and then never got anything done about it.
And then slept in the cot for a year. That had no legs.
No legs.
But
No legs. No legs. Lieutenant Dan.
last week's
legs.
last week's Scribblia video is out now, and it's funny. If you guys haven't watched it yet, I recommend at least watching that one.
No, I haven't watched one of our videos in forever now.
Watch it at 2x speed.
I don't watch our content.
Forever.
I used to watch our podcasts every week when they came out just to see how we were doing, but I feel like that was more of a insecurity thing. I'm like, how bad did I do?
And now you just don't care. You're like, we probably did bad. It's whatever.
It's probably terrible, but some people are watching it, so whatever.
And we finished the end last week for Minecraft too. Like we've done some cool stuff the last week. This is the first week of going back to everyday content. Last week was just kind of Did 3 videos last week. Sorry, I cleaned the house and there's bleach in my throat again.
That's safe.
But yeah, the Scribblia stuff was cool. I called it Fridge-worthy art is the title of the video, and I literally drew a fridge and put magnets on it and put some of the art as the thumbnail. And I used the redirected logo as a magnet. I was like, this is cool. Have like a Hawaii or Alaska magnet on there too, because you got to. Every fridge I've seen with magnets has an Alaska magnet on it. So
for some reason, they always have the one Alaska magnet.
This fridge has a magnet. There's no Alaska on here, Dennis.
it's a picture of me for some reason.
No, there's an actual magnet though.
There is? Oh,
There's
it's like a
one
dot.
magnet.
It's like a circle with a color, right?
Yeah,
Why don't you add to it? Why don't you put a magnet up there, Andrew?
because it's in a box somewhere. I do have a bunch of magnets.
Do you have an Alaska magnet? His fridge is in desperate need.
I'm sure Walmart has one.
Walmart has a Florida section at your Walmart. Like a Florida.
Yeah, the funniest thing is when Walmart started selling like tourist stuff, like little souvenirs. Like you're a Walmart. What are you doing? You're not.
Especially in Fort Lauderdale, like there's so many Walmarts down here. Why does this one have the souvenir stuff?
You're not even like you're not close to the highway. You're not close to the turnpike. Like you're not close to the beach. Like you're in the middle of like a residential area, and you're selling tourist trappy stuff, keychains and shot glasses, and you're not a gas station on the side of the highway. What are you doing?
The one near my house, which is closer to the beach than his, and it's literally off the highway, doesn't even have that stuff.
Yeah. Like the ones that somebody might stop at as they're passing through don't have it.
It doesn't make sense.
Walmart doesn't make sense in general most of the time.
No.
So,
How's your career at Walmart doing, Kevin?
no.
No.
Final answer.
I'm still trying to get myself fired.
You got in trouble like last week for taking lunch late.
Yeah, they didn't like me because I tried to help them out.
You took your lunch late and they got mad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're
tell
under
the story.
they're under such strict scrutiny, and like they're always being watched and evaluated.
No. People take their lunches late all the time. All the time.
But when Andy
like,
does it, it's not
There's
okay.
a cart pusher. Yeah, because I'm always on time with my whole schedule, so I try to be. So what happened was like they scheduled me and I call him the old man because he's like 60s or something.
I've seen
I
him.
don't know how old. Yeah.
No, the one at our Walmart.
Oh no, there's another one. There's an old you. There's like a 60-year-old
I know.
you. that
We
works
saw him
at
we saw him
Walmart.
yesterday.
We see him
every
everywhere
week,
now.
But yeah, we had the old man I was working with. It was just us from. I came in at 8 a.m. He came in at 10, and it was just us until 2 o'clock. I was supposed to take my lunch at 12, but I figured, I could stay a couple hours and help them out instead of just being one cart pusher. There could be two, and then two people were supposed to come in at 2, and so I figured like both of us can go to lunch when the two people would come in. It'd make
they
more
didn't come in.
sense. Well, they came in, but the one of them does what he always does and sits in the back after he clocks in and just eats food for like half an hour every week. It's I don't know, dude. Nobody wants to do anything in my store. That's why I say I do all the
Walmart.
work. It's not even
It's
that.
Walmart.
I've been to this Walmart down here that we go to now, or that I go to now, because I live here now. Like you really see everyone outside. Like they're at least like present. My car pushers literally just all over the place. You have no idea where they even are. They have no idea what they're doing.
Your Walmart's weird.
Yeah, I pretty much just got in trouble for trying to help them out.
Your Walmart's backwards though. I don't blame it. Your Walmart's literally is the only Walmart I've really been to that your produce is on the right side and not the left side.
It's also super small.
Wait, what side's produce on?
It's on the
right
right.
side.
Yeah, that's the same with my Walmart, and I hate it.
Oh, no wonder you guys both work at Walmart. You work at the same Walmart.
There's another one around here. I think it's the one on Atlantic that everything's in the wrong spot. Like the entertainment, the electronic section's in the wrong spot. The camping
That's
section's
gotta
in the
be in the
wrong
back.
spot. The
Electronics has always got to be in the back.
no. There's a couple of them. No, where they're not in the back. They're
On
on
the
the
left.
sidewall.
Yeah, it's like
That's-
And
Target.
it's like what?
That's like a
No,
freaking
that's
Best
not
Buy
where you
now.
belong.
That's the Best Buy now.
No, it's like Target. Well, Best Buy is the whole store's electronics, but
I know, but like they have like the side sections like full TVs or something.
Target has
That used to
the
be
tech at the
that
front.
used to be like one of the greatest things about Walmart is it didn't matter which super center you went to, you knew where the thing you were looking for was because it was the same super center as every other super center. There was no like you knew what direction to walk in to get to what you wanted because it was the same as the one on the other side of the freaking country. And now
Yeah.
there's like 18 different floor layouts that they do, and you have no idea where anything is.
Half the time,
Well,
I still don't know where
a lot of
everything
it-
is.
A lot of it also depends on the place they build it at. Like it might be designed for a certain way.
It's a rectangle.
It doesn't,
It doesn't matter where they build
it.
it. It's a rectangle.
So the McDonald's are different.
They're all usually
No,
squares. or
McDonald's are
rectangles.
not always the same shape. McDonald's builds different size buildings. But I don't have to walk into a McDonald's and go looking for my freaking Big Mac. I walk up to the counter and they hand it to me.
I don't have to pay for my Big Mac. They just give it to me.
I have to pay for it, but I don't have to go looking for it.
Just walk in. Where's my Big Mac?
I don't have to go hunt my Big Mac. I got to walk through Walmart and find what I'm looking for. You add 15 minutes to my trip because you moved it from where it's supposed to be.
I know you hate McDonald's, Jason, but like, what did you used to eat when you like ate there?
The good chicken wraps, the full size chicken wraps,
The crunch
because
wraps,
they
right?
actually, because they actually existed when I worked there.
Because
Those I liked.
Because you said Big Mac, and I was like, I wonder if Jason was a Big Mac eater. He seems like he wouldn't
No.
be, but
No, I didn't like the Big Mac.
I like the double
Big
quarter
Mac
pounder
sauce
better.
was all right. Like I kind of like the Big Mac sauce, but I don't like the triple bread, tiny patty. Like Big Mac was a scam.
Big Mac
is
was
a
so annoying to make because you had to put that little extra hockey puck in the middle into the thing, and you're like, you had to wait for a little longer because it had to be toasted differently, and you're like,
Where's
fish
my bag
fillet.
of hockey pucks?
The fish fillet sandwiches also sucked because you got to steam the bun, and I always
those.
I always burned myself on the steamer because
Those tiny little steamers sucked. And it's always like nobody ever ordered a fish patty, so you never had one ready.
yeah. My store was crazy with the fish patties though. Like we had all these old men that would just drive up and be like, "Yeah, I want a fillet of fish," and we're like, "Okay." We did the 5 for $5, I think, too, so you could do 2 for $5, and they'd always get 2 fillet of fish, and I'm like, "You're crazy, man." The
See,
fillet of
I
fish is
worked night
garbage.
shift. I worked night shift right outside of a city, in a suburb. So, like, we were the busiest store in our district. We were also the highest rated store in our district.
We were
But
the
I
only
worked
store.
overnights. I worked overnights, and you think like rushes during the day are bad, and you get steady work throughout the day.
Night
But
time,
rushes
floor.
at night,
There's only
when
like
you
3
got
people.
2 people because your third person is outside smoking and doesn't give a damn. Like I'm running grill, washing dishes, building sandwiches. Like I'm running the whole kitchen and taking orders half the time. Like, it was terrible.
Yep.
I hated taking orders. I actually avoided that as much as I could.
I did it first, and then I was like, "Eh."
I hated running register because one of my managers was crooked. Or this is my guess, because he came to me one day after a shift and he goes, "You're like $100 and something short," and I'm like, "There's no way." There's no way on my sanity I am that short. Like you tell me I'm $20 short, yeah, maybe I miscounted something. You tell me I'm $100 and something short, there is no way in heck. And then it just disappeared. He's just like, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So he either miscounted something or he tried to pocket something and blame it on me. And when I told him to screw off, oh, okay, no, well, maybe not.
Yeah, they forced me on register first day, and I'm like, "I don't know how to use your computer system. This is weird."
It was easy. It was too easy until it broke, and then it was just annoying because they try to make it super easy, but they can't get it right.
Yeah. Cash only was the most annoying thing too. When you switched
During
and
reset,
and people are like yelling at you because they're like, "Well, I have a card. We can't do anything about it." It's only for
Back
like
to
20
normal.
minutes. Come back in 20 minutes. Like,
No,
That
ours
happened
took
to me a
forever.
few weeks ago. I went there and I had like, I had like $5 in cash, and I like go up, get our card reader down. Really? I was super sad because I was hungry.
System reset, man. Nothing we can
Yeah.
do about it.
go to
Like it's
Taco
not
Bell.
even. It's not even. There's a lot of times where McDonald's employees, and I've watched them do it. It's just like, no, I can't do that for you, just because they don't want to.
Yeah,
Like
it's
they just
annoying.
don't want to
I
move
have
from the spot they're standing in.
at my store because we have the MoneyGram at Walmart, so that happens a lot there. They do the reset for that too. People just complain all the time. It's so annoying.
But yeah, with the card systems and stuff, they do reset and updates and stuff. And ours used to be daily, take like 45 minutes to an hour. It's just like there's nothing we can do. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we did cash only every night from 11:30 till 12 o'clock, and then third shift would come in. Or third shift would come in.
No, see, we did ours right before first shift came in. We did ours not right before first shift, but before the early breakfast rush started, before like 4 or 5 o'clock when the early birds start running out.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be sometimes like we're starting to hit that rush and computers are still down because the manager didn't reboot it in time.
My favorite thing about working at McDonald's though was whenever like there was food like left over, people didn't want it or maybe they drove off, they would put it on the heating thing and then they would be like, who wants to take this home? I'd always be sent home with a big bag of McDonald's. Usually apple pies though.
See, I was setting up my first bank account. And so I made sure my manager knew I had to run out at a specific time. I had to leave a little bit early. This is before I was on night shift. So I could get out to the bank on my bicycle at the time, get out to the bank and set everything up. So I take my shift meal with me on the way out. And I'm just pedaling. Like I was riding an old Schwinn, like an 80s Schwinn. I loved that bike. Fantastic bike. But flying down the road, I see this old dude sitting in like a bank parking lot, literally counting out change. There's like a Burger King next door. He's sitting on the bank side of the parking lot, just counting out change. I swing through around, come out. I just lean down as I'm passing him, drop my shift meal in front of him, swing back out the parking lot. I look behind me. I just see the guy go, oh, in the back, like what? Just huh?
Where did this food come from?
There was a red and yellow blur, and now I have food. McDonald's Ferry.
It's perfect lead in.
Oh man, I'm surprised I never got in trouble.
That's what I thought about with the extra food, because I went back. Like I didn't have lunch at that point. I went back on my way home because I had to pass it and picked up more food. Because there's always that extra stuff sitting around.
Yeah, they can't give it out, and they don't want to throw it away, but they're like, hey, we'll take it home with you. Usually it was always pies, like I said, or cookies, and I'd be like, I'll take these home in a heartbeat.
No, we couldn't keep pies. You couldn't touch the pies. If you wanted a pie, you had to pay for it because we couldn't keep them warmed. Like,
well, the problem was like the pies had an actual like you always had to change out the stock on them after a couple period of time. And
for
they wouldn't
us,
throw
it
them
didn't
out.
matter. It didn't matter how many we kept heated. We didn't have enough. Like people just came through, got the dollar pies. Yeah, like $5 worth of dollar pies, and just
The pies were really good though.
they were pretty good.
What was her name?
They were like apple pie hot pockets.
I forgot what her name was. Reba.
What are we doing?
We're talking about McDonald's, but Reba taught me horribly.
We had, like places we were going, and now we're just doing anecdotes about the terrible job we.
Well,
used to
you
work.
talked about going into McDonald's, so we're going into McDonald's.
I never worked there.
No,
I don't go there anymore. I don't care about McDonald's.
We talked about their terrible job. We talked about their terrible job and how Walmarts are getting so confusing, and then we started talking about our terrible job. This is where you are on my screen. So
Yeah.
I don't.
This is hold on. Wait.
This is
There you go.
Andrew. This is Kevin, and that's you.
See, you're up here. Kevin's
It's-
over here.
You're pointing.
He's
You're
up there.
pointing to the black side, but you're pointing at the right side still. Yeah, that'd be
So
Kevin.
That's over there.
That'd be Kevin.
So that's
That'd be
Andrew up there,
Yeah,
and then you're over there.
yeah. No, but
I just take everything that's over here and I put it over there.
Reba taught me before we like move to something else. Reba taught me horribly. She says if you take the pie and you warm it up a little bit, then you put it inside a little container and you put some ice cream on it, and then put some Oreos on top of it. She goes, it's pretty good, and I'm like, yeah. She goes, first one's free. After that, you gotta pay. I'm like, okay, Reba. So I take a smoke break because I did those, and I hung out with her because she took smoke breaks every 10 minutes or 10 minutes. So I go out there and start eating it with her. She goes, it's pretty good, isn't it, sweetheart? And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good, Reba. You're right.
It's not that Reba.
No, she was super
Matt.
Southern. Like she looked like she probably used this bed at some point. Like She was a super
I was
southern
gonna
drug
make those
addict at some point.
Well, because she made the comment, the first one's free. After that, you got to
Yeah.
pay, and I'm like, oh, all right, I know her. I don't know her, but I know her.
Yeah, no, she was a Reba McEntire, but without the Reba McEntire.
She was the all country, no sweet.
Yeah, she was great though. She was all right.
The anti McIntyre.
Yeah, it's the anti. Oh my God, it's like the Antichrist, but for Reba. Jesus, don't take the wheel.
the anti Reba.
But yeah, let's get away from the McDonald's talk and talk about
Snyder.
So we were talking about red and yellow, right? Jason was riding fast on his bike. His Flash.
Red and yellow, red and yellow, red and yellow. That's black and
But
yellow.
yeah, the Snyder Cut was 4 hours of absolute greatness, but I would never sit through it again.
I almost sat through it again right after we finished it, and it was 12 o'clock almost. Like I was gonna come in my room and watch it again because I wrote a review on it on Facebook, and I haven't written a review in a long time, and I realized that I have my own metric system I can grade movies with, and that's with fingers. And I never thought about this because I always rated I rated Venom, so I gave it 8.7 fingers out of 10, which is a really good rating for that comparatively to the first one.
Can you hold up 8.7 fingers for me, please?
Yeah.
He's like Saul now.
But no,
I could do 8 2/3. That's about as close as I'm getting, and that's a little difficult.
Non-spoiler review of it. And I'm gonna give my review real quick. I'm not gonna read it for word because it was like literally I could write a book on this movie.
Someone in my family did write a freaking book on it.
So the reason, so I found out more to why Zack Snyder didn't work on the actual movie. It's because at the end of the movie it says for Autumn, and I looked up who Autumn was, and it was his daughter. His daughter killed herself in 2017 around the time he was still working on the Justice League movie. Actually, this movie made $30,000 towards the suicide prevention.
Actually, I think it was more than that.
It's up more now. So basically, there was a donation from this movie being made for $30,000, which is great. Like we've talked about suicide before. I've made videos on suicide. Like the great talk.
I was under the impression that DC knocked him out, like kicked him out to the street.
Well, that's what they made it seem like.
Yeah.
And then he recently obviously came out and spoke about it.
And after people seeing this movie, they want to see what Josh Whedon was going to do. Because at the very end, I'm not going to spoil it, but you remember in Batman v Superman, I think it was, there was that scene where Batman saw the vision of like a dark desert place with all these flying creatures, and like the Flash was like, Lois is the key, and that was it for that. They essentially essentially they went into that actual multiverse at the end of the movie, and just played a little around with it more, and they talked about like Jason Todd, being killed and stuff, like just like regular. It was like people are even saying like this is the most comic book movie I've seen, and out of all the DC movies,
have we reached Arrowverse quality?
Better.
Good.
I would say if this movie was released, this movie was supposed to release this original movie, if it was released in 2017 and Zack Snyder stayed on board, this would have probably caught DC up to Marvel, because when this movie came out, Endgame and Infinity War were not out yet. Infinity War is still my favorite movie in the whole saga. The entire Infinity War saga. Like, Endgame's good, but Infinity War, having the villain kind of being a hero, was great storytelling. And I love Thanos in that one. And then they ruined him. But, like, oh my god, this movie was fantastic. And I feel like if this came out, like I said, this would have blown Marvel out the water. The DC universe would have been so much more than it is right now. Like,
This is sort of semi-unrelated, but I don't want to hear the words movie and fantastic in the same sentence for quite a long time. We've had enough of that, and we don't need any more.
Fantastic Four?
So
There are other descriptive words we can use to specifically avoid that word and the memories that come along with it.
This movie was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Like,
I watched that movie yesterday. You're there. I watched that movie yesterday, and I love you for that reference.
it was so good though. It was they released it in a 4:3 frame, which if you don't like that, like Jack, I kept calling him Jack, Andrew.
It's like
it's a
like
square.
widescreen but opposite.
The reason he did that was because it's technically it's tube TV. It's tube TV, Jason. It's tube TV.
Widescreen but opposite.
It's like
Showing up in a movie theater. It's like they put it on the opposite side.
It's like what Dennis said earlier. Was that Kevin's always the first one in the chat unless it's one of you, which is literally just to say he's the first one in unless he isn't. And now it's like this, but not at all.
It's like widescreen but opposite.
It
Quote me on that. Put it on a shirt.
What he means is it's not like this, but it's like this.
I know what he means, but it was the worst possible way you could have said it. Like it was the least efficient statement that could have ever been made.
The reason for that is technically old cinematic movies. Like back in the day, that's the only aspect they had. And Zack Snyder wanted to release it like that
too.
Because Zack Snyder is like a really good filmmaker. Like he's made a lot of very good movies. But there's one scene in this movie, and I always talk about it, and this is the reason I hate Captain Marvel, and it's when she's falling and she realizes she can fly, and it's the most cheesiest scene I've ever seen. And that movie is that moment is the reason that whole movie got ruined. There is always a moment in a superhero movie that you get goosebumps from. There's always a moment where you sit up in your chair a little bit because you know it's going down. And that was supposed to be that moment in Captain Marvel. And you know what I got from that? I got disappointment. My goosebumps decided to invert. I don't know what that means, but it hurt.
That's what the widescreen did. It
when we watched the Snyder Cut, this is the only scene I'm going to say. So the whole ending was like the whole movie was different. All the scenes played out very different from how they actually were. There were so many things that were not actually in the movie. I lost all respect for Joss Whedon after seeing this. But
dude gave up. Dude, Joss just didn't care anymore. I'm sorry. Like he just made the same movies. Like you guys wanted me to make another superhero movie? Fine. Here's the same superhero movie I started with.
Because this didn't feel like the Avengers. It felt like its own movie.
You know what? Hold on. So it was Snyder's daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what it might have been? And I hope it's this instead of the other way around. Because I had kind of started to get really disappointed in Joss. And I mean, you know I love Joss from the beginning. Firefly, Buffy, like Joss, fantastic at what he does. He might have been ticked off with DC.
For kicking.
Because DC insisted on pushing forward and kicking out Snyder for what was going on. So if he knew what was going on, he might have intentionally just gone, screw you. I'm fine. I'll make Avengers. Here, make your freaking money. Get out of my face.
With seeing this movie, the pacing is... I felt like what I really feel it was Joss Whedon didn't get to hear what Zack Snyder was trying to do and was just handed everything pre-filmed and had to put the pieces together himself. So I feel I feel bad for him still. Like I know Joss Whedon had a lot of work to do. He had to take over something that was already done.
He had to do a lot of filming still too. Like they refilmed a lot of things, which is why you get the terrible invisible mustache on Superman. But I feel like it's this gives me a little bit of hope. And I mean, we won't really know unless we're told. But this gives me a little hope in Joss that maybe he was just like, well, what do you guys want? Like DC came to him with nothing, with just a bundle of crap, and like hey, our last guy's busy with some really important things that we don't care about. Here's things make us money. And he just goes, this is a ball of yarn. I don't know what I have no idea.
The
I
rubber
didn't start
band ball
making
they
this.
told him to get to the center of.
I can, yeah. He's like, I can do something. It's okay. I can make you money, but I'd rather not. Like, what do you want me to do here? Or he knew what was going on and is like, you forget you, or a mixture of all of that. So they just handed him a wet pile of he doesn't know. And he's like, really? You're just going to take everything he was making while he's dealing with personal issues and drop it in my lap so I can make you money?
I
have hope again. That's good.
There was, like I said, the whole movie was so different, though. Like, the ending of all of it, like, you remember when Flash and Superman kind of raced, but it was like Barry was pushing a Russian family's truck that broke down, and then the Superman rolls in, it's holding a whole school. None of that happened. Like, there was no family in this movie at all living in that area. Like, none of that happened. I'm not trying to spoil it, but I'm just telling you, like, none of that really happened.
That's good, because I thought that was a stretch to begin with.
It was, and like
living on the fringes of society in this place, it's like go live in the forest. Live in a desert. Why are you living next to a nuclear meltdown? What?
They gave more story to Steppenwolf. They gave more story to the Flash. They gave a lot more. They gave us more scenes of him. There was a lot of story of Cyborg. Actually, Cyborg, in my opinion, was the main character, but not really at the same time. And they did him right. They did him really well.
Good. I was disappointed.
He was more of a main character than Batman, in my opinion.
Yeah. Darkseid was actually like a part of the movie, but wasn't. Like, he actually was a big part of the movie.
Who did Iron Bat and Sparkly Thor? Was that
Zack Snyder as well?
That was Snyder.
But he released a Snyder cut of that as well. That was better.
Okay, so it's just been DC going, no, we want this, and him being like, why?
I still have better. He's like, here, he pulls that out of his pocket. Here's this in case you want to release it. And they're all rated R, which is great.
Oh yeah, they fully.
It needed the R rating. That's all I'm gonna say.
It made it like the cursing. They finally put cursing in it. It's so good.
At the end of
like,
it,
I'm not a fan of cursing, but like
that's
it
what I
fits
like.
so
Like
well
DC is so much darker. It's so much grittier. Like, it's got that, and that's why Batman has always been the forefront of media for DC. It's that
so
grit, it's that nasty, it's that real life, holy crap, this is what we're dealing with kind of thing. It's political statements and facing the darkest of realities.
I almost
with the lining of hope that is Superman.
I almost sent it to you today, Jason, but there's the end scene, and because they're not continuing with it, it's not going to be used. But basically, Joker and Batman are talking, and Joker's talking about something.
Joker's in it?
Yeah, and he's done right.
It's Jared Leto.
It's Jared Leto, but he looks like Joker now, and he actually talks like Joker, and he's like, you could tell that Batman and him actually have a history now, because they almost said the line, I can't kill you unless you kill me, because we need each other. They did that whole conversation.
Yeah.
But there's one moment where Batman is talking to him, and he talks about, killing Boy Wonder, and him holding.
We're at spoiler points. Like,
that's why I'm trying not to spoil it, but I'm gonna say one line, and this is all I'm gonna say.
You have, like, there have been things that have been spoiled, key plot points, and what is and what isn't.
Joker's already there, and him talking to Batman.
I'm gonna wave my hand over here, and it's super late spoiler alert.
Well, the movie's already been released, like, before, so like 3-4 years ago. We'll just throw that out there. If you're mad at us by now,
not the same movie.
But these are also comic book conversations that they use the script from.
So is everything else. It's still a new movie.
But there's one line, and this is the most exciting line. I'm using Andrew's example of the F word, where Batman and Joker are talking. Batman takes a thing from Joker. Joker says something, and then Batman looks at him and says, you know what Harley told me when I was holding her lifeless body in my arms? She told me to make it hurt. He goes, I'm going to effing kill you one day. And trust me, I'm going to effing do it. And I'm going to make sure it hurts. And Joker starts shaking. and it's like the coolest scene in the world because like you can see Joker's actually afraid of this because he knows for a fact that Batman's gonna come up and do something to him, and I'm like, yeah.
I'm so mad Harley's dead. I didn't know this.
I'm not. It's Margaret
Shut
Bloodburn in
up.
this. I
It's
didn't
not
think
really
Shut
much
up.
of a, it's not much of a spoiler than you might think.
Yeah, it's a conversation.
It's a spoiler to me because that's my girl. All right.
You like the movie
you
version
got-
of her?
Bop. Just her. I just want to see her do
Well,
well.
I hope it's the right
Doesn't
Harley that died, not her.
doesn't the new Suicide Squad come out this year? Kill the Justice League, or is that the game I'm thinking of?
That's the game.
There's something comes out this
There's
year.
a Suicide Squad coming out this year, but it has nothing to do with Justice League.
I kind of want to watch
Well,
the.
there's
got John
it's called
Cena in
Kill
it.
the Justice League.
There's a game.
Has anybody
Because I
seen
really want to play
Has anybody seen any of the Kaylee? I can't do her last name.
Girl from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. Has anybody
Love
seen
Steve
any
here.
of her Harley Quinn show?
No, I've seen bits and pieces of it on
I
TikTok though.
kind of want to see it. Like I've seen like snippets of it, and I'm kind of going, okay, no, that looks good.
They're saying it's
That
some of her
does
best.
look-
They're saying it's the best Harley Quinn rendition ever.
Or in a while, because
It's
the
like
best Harley Quinn rendition is the original Harley Quinn rendition.
which I love that
That
story.
Batman animated series when the character was created rendition.
I
You should
love
watch,
It's like praise be to the Lord.
I love hearing that whenever people say, "Yeah,
This is a completely different religion, by the way, and I apologize if
Quinnism?
I'm offending anybody. No, the type of symbols and stuff I just did. Don't no.
I love that Harley
I'm
Quinn-
super sarcastic, even with my own religion. Don't hate me.
I love that Harley Quinn was never in the comics until the animated stuff.
Yeah,
They created her
she
for the
was
show.
like so many shows have tried, like especially in that era. They tried to create so many other characters, and they kind of got their comic books and their other lives, and they get referenced occasionally. But she was the greatest animated creation to ever make it back into the comic books.
Sorry,
in
what were
my
you saying,
opinion,
Tron?
anyway.
Tron Legacy, what were you saying?
Thanks.
I can't stop staring at your
What
ears
was I
lighting up.
saying?
Excuse you, it's Princess Tron. Leatron?
Oh no! I got
Leatron. I'm going with Leatron.
Love the Tron movie, dude. The new one. I love that movie.
Because Leatron sounds like a Decepticon, or like
Leatron. Dude, just pitch it to Hasbro. Tell them to make a new one.
they'll do it.
What were you saying, Andrew?
They got two more movies coming out.
It's a
They'll do it.
transformer. It's a transformer Tantive 4 that turns into Leia.
They are making
I need this now.
on this subject. I don't know
Continue.
if we talked about it, but they're making 2 more live action Transformer movies that aren't directed by Michael Bay. I forgot who they were. But I know one of them is supposed to be the origin of the Dinobots. And that's what I'm excited for.
Oh my!
It better be animated like the old
it's
one from the
no,
80s and
no,
90s.
it's live action. It's
No,
supposed to be the true Dinobots, not the ones they put in Age of Extinction. Like it's a true background for them.
You okay, Jason?
I just want to see Chris Pratt in it.
Oh my God.
Dinobot world.
I just want to see Chris Pratt just do the reference, just the no, come on.
No.
While we were watching
even if he just like dies right there, like
while we were watching Justice League, Andrew keeps like turning to me and going, "Hey, we should animate this. We should animate that. Hey, we should do a bad lip reading of this movie." I'm like, why? Why is so
Oh, we
Like
need
the,
some
the
Falcon too.
animated parts wouldn't be the movie. Like it'd be us like kind of like making our own scenes, making it funny.
I'm like, I don't know how to animate.
It's a lot of work.
I said we just do it like the Tenacious D video that Jack Black animated, where it's literally just done in Microsoft Paint. all he did was like just scenes. He just changed the scene, and I'm like, dude, how does this have millions of views? Well, I mean, I guess it's Jack Black.
Because it's Jack Black.
Yeah. Dude, Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny is all over TikTok right now. Right after I watch the movie, I see it everywhere, and I'm like, what happened?
I still haven't gotten around to watching it. I don't know where I can. Like,
have you ever watched it?
No,
it's on
I
Netflix.
Just said I still haven't gotten around to watching it.
Got you, Jason.
It's on Netflix,
it's on
Jason.
Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
If you're watching this, don't watch it.
It's on Netflix.
Oh yeah, not
You're
a
watching this, don't watch
good movie.
No.
We're still getting subscribers
At
from that Among Us
all.
video, and they all go, I'm 5 and I played it when I was 4, and I'm like, great, if your parents said it was okay, then that's fine. Please stop
Ask for
commenting. Everyone's like, I was 4, I was 5, I was 7. I'm like, great, I was 23.
I was originally gonna say is you guys should watch the animated Batman and TMNT movie. Got like the crossover. It's actually really good. Like it's really
yeah,
funny.
I wanted to watch that.
It fits like the
You know that there's actual canon behind Daredevil and TMNT, right?
Oh yeah, no, they're the
Technically.
same. They're in the same universe.
The ooze that blinded Matt Murdock is the same ooze that made the Turtles.
Yeah,
And
the
it's from
mutagen-
that car
The
crash.
mutagen from TMNT is what blinded Matt Murdock.
Because the original TMNT story for their origin, a blind man was walking across the street and a kid pushed him out of the way from a truck with hazard chemicals, and it landed on the turtles in the sewers and stuff, all that. So that the kid knocking the turtles or whatever. But then the original Daredevil story is he saved a blind man from getting hit by a truck and had the stuff hit him in the
Full of
eyes.
chemicals. And yeah,
They did that intentionally, like. But
like if you guys want to sit down and watch a movie, I'll watch that again with you guys.
dude, I've been watching
It's
a
really
movie
good.
every night with you. Wait, what movie?
I want to be a part of it.
What movie?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You guys.
What movie?
Sorry, Kevin.
What movie? Are we watching the OG like TMNT live action movies?
I have those too.
Those
I
are
have
my
all
favorite
three of them.
movies, dude.
I have
Does
all three of them.
Does Netflix now do the same thing that Disney Plus has, where you've got the view share thing?
No, most of the movies we're watching are from his box of DVDs.
Well then we just need to use his Elgato and stream it through Discord.
You can't. They won't legally let you do that. Discord will stop the stream.
What?
Yeah, Discord started doing it recently. They like a couple weeks ago.
I don't know. I've been watching movies with my buddy over Discord just fine.
He broke the pig.
Yeah, that pig's easy to break though. Andrew, why are you looking for it?
I think if it's just the few of us in a locked chat, we're in the legal right. But
We
I'm
could
not,
also
I'm
just
not certain.
like come over here or wait a couple weeks. We'll be living together hopefully in a few weeks.
Yep.
How's the house looking?
This one?
Yes.
They pushed the inspection back from tomorrow to Thursday.
Cool. I saw Jamie was over in that neighborhood like a week or so ago. Was she a part of it or something?
Not that I know of.
She was like there like Saturday. She had videos of the peacocks. And I was like, "Is that GB's neighborhood?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, huh?
Maybe she just drove through to see the peacocks.
Jamie wouldn't waste her time.
My
There you go. The full collection.
Right.
It's got the 3 original movies, the Batman TMNT, and then the 2007 animated one,
That's a great one.
like the CGI one.
I
whatever.
love that one.
Yeah, but I really like the Batman one though.
I think our
It's pretty good.
third or fourth podcast was literally all about TMNT. Why don't you just
No,
pull
I
a
got
drawer
this.
out?
I got this for you, Dennis.
We've been watching horror movies lately. We've been watching the whole Saw Saw entire thing. We're on the last official Saw one, and then Jigsaw's next. This is 7 tonight?
I have yeah. I have a lot more movies than that. Jeez.
Oh, this is just the one drawer.
I have 6 boxes right now of movies.
All my movies were
forget-
stolen.
I forget what's in here half the time.
I remember
and like each one holds like 3 times that.
I was telling you guys earlier about when I bought those movies from that person in Boone, all those DVDs. I bought over 260 movies from just that guy on top of my collection. Of course, everything was stolen, but I had all those movies for a little bit. I finally watched it.
Yeah, I made him watch that.
That was the first movie we watched the first night he moved in.
What'd you think?
It was good. I liked it. It was funny. It was cute. It was Sonic.
Can't wait for Tails.
The reveal of Tails at the end was cool. Because I've played Sonic and Tails. That was my first game ever. So, like, that was cool. Well, Sonic 2, I guess, but... Wait, you had that? What was the other thing we said we were going to talk about?
I think we're almost at time, aren't we?
Falcon and Winter Soldier. So
yeah.
talk a little bit about that. We're not going to spoil anything. All I'm going to say is this, is my little review of it real quick, is the pacing of it is fantastic, and it felt like watching a movie.
Yeah.
And it was
just
great.
not in a reverse widescreen.
It was it was legit. I felt like I was watching Captain America Winter Soldier, which is my favorite Captain America movie, and it was great.
When does that one take place?
Yeah, it does feel like you're kind of watching Captain America Winter Soldier 2. Part 2.
Takes place a couple months after the blip. So after
months.
Endgame. The cool thing is, like, they actually explain
it
like
takes
finances
place
though.
around the same time as WandaVision. Like, it's happening.
Well, WandaVision is
WandaVision
2
was
weeks.
2 months, I think.
WandaVision was
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks after.
Yeah, this one's months.
She left Tony Stark's funeral and like stole the body, or didn't steal the body, but
Stole the body, did the stuff.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
Shut up. You up there have a terrible habit of accidentally destroying anybody's illusion of what the heck's going on because you don't know how to shut up when you're talking about
we're on
it.
the 3rd week. If you haven't watched it by now, then
you need to drop that attitude. You need to drop that, well, if you didn't do it in time, it's your fault attitude.
You can ask for our account information. Andrew
Some of us are
you.
busy. And it's not just me. It's our fans.
Well, if they're watching this video, they can definitely be watching that.
They probably already watched it. They probably watched it and finished it like the day before this podcast.
Especially right now, some people don't have their streaming services because they're still trying to catch up on everything from the pandemic. That's
like
still kind of going on.
Just ask Andrew for the information. He'll give it to you.
Yeah, everybody get on Andrew's streaming service. We can all use his account.
Available, the one lucky person.
Just check in with the Discord and make sure that there's nobody on in the moment that you want to watch it. We'll all take turns. You can schedule your time, and we can make this work.
I don't know if we should be advertising this. We just talked about how we shouldn't be doing it.
Not what's happening.
Messages.
Wait. You ready for it? Satire.
He's not going to edit that in.
Satire.
Allegedly.
Alleged satire.
So going back really quick to Justice League, they have raised about $500,000 to date.
Wow.
I
know. Good. Josh Whedon or Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder deserves like every single award. He deserves a gold star.
Just a gold star.
Every time he makes a movie, we'll add a gold star.
I used to have a packet of stickers, like those kind of stickers, and I wish I still had it.
When I was safety patrol in elementary school, I used to have a pack of stickers like that I would give out to kids. All the kindergarten kids loved me because I'd hand them out every day.
I got a sticker.
Yeah.
Sticker!
Also, apparently there was an Easter egg in the movie. I don't know if we saw it.
You mentioned it, Ben Parker, right?
Well, that was one of them. There was 100 or so Easter eggs. People have like made YouTube videos about it and everything. You can go watch them. I didn't watch any of them. But
first time I'm hearing about this.
Yeah. One. I think it was when Superman
on the gravestone where
Yeah,
Superman
this is in the
fought.
original movie. It's not really a spoiler.
It's not a
But-
spoiler if it's an Easter egg too.
Yeah, well, like when the whole thing with Superman came up and he was finally back, um, somewhere during that scene, they kind of zoomed in on the gravestone, and Ben Parker's name was on there.
Zack Snyder's a super nerd.
Yeah, but that's a little like.
I mean, technically, the worlds do mix somehow.
Well, that does bring in my new thing because both of them, both both companies are going into their AUs. They're starting to do their multiverse things, and I want to see because infinite universes, infinite multiverses, infinite possibilities, they both exist alongside us. Like, I just want to see Avengers and Justice League mash like once.
I will
Friends,
say,
enemies, passing. I just want to see, like, I want to see the companies let cameos happen in the multiverse from other multiversers, from other franchises. Like, I just want to see Deadpool walking in the background, like way in the background of some Justice League multiverse something.
He'll be walking up to Green Lantern.
well,
Like, hey,
technically,
me.
technically, they already did that though. You don't remember the end of. You don't remember the end of Deadpool 2 when he shoots Ryan Reynolds in the back of the head while he's reading the script for the Green Lantern?
Different. That's different.
It's kind of the same.
It's different because that's them acknowledging our universe, and they both do that all the time. They both acknowledge our universe in which they are media constantly. But I want to see them acknowledge each other. And yes, I want to see Ryan Reynolds Deadpool or Deadpool meet Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern and just deck him. Just deck him and take the ring. So you don't deserve this, and then leave.
Gives it to Batman because Batman's the only person that actually has worn all the rings before.
Deadpool 3, Ryan Reynolds, get on it. Get with DC and be like, hey, can I borrow that terrible CG suit for a minute?
Let's just get Deadpool 3 out first now that it's under Disney, and then we'll worry about DC crossover after this comes out. Let's do that for like Deadpool 4. Let's get the Disney Deadpool out first.
You know what? It isn't technically it isn't technically a monopoly. Disney by DC. Get on it. Come on.
I don't know if they can do that because it's Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers that is a competitor with Disney. It's a pretty big one.
And buy it.
It'd be
buy
really
Warner
it's,
Brothers.
It's a lot more money than like buying Marvel for $4 billion.
I don't think Warner Brothers will give it up anyways.
No, they won't.
No, but just buy Warner Brothers. It's fine. They've got the money.
I will say
they realistically could. Like, it's there, it's possible. They're not going to.
It's not a smart decision though either, because like honestly, the DC universe, it would hurt them to buy that. To be honest, they wouldn't make much money from it after.
Yeah, they'd have to fix a lot of things.
They'd have to remake the whole thing again, and they're already ruining it with Batman.
That's exactly it though, because if Disney comes in and picks up everything that was, and then just because they've done a fantastic job. Like, as much corporate money grubbing, sketchy that goes on with Disney, they've done a fantastic job for a really long time of letting their artists do their job. Whether it's their writers, their directors, their animators, they've done a fantastic job since Pixar went, you know what, forget you guys, I'm out of here, I'm going to go make it better my own way. And then they bought Pixar back. They're like, you know what? Maybe if we just let the people we pay do these things, it'll work out. And it's worked out. I think Pixar taught them a very big, very important lesson, which was that people know what they're doing, and that's why you pay them to do it.
Well, one like last touching point on it though, like I think Warner Brothers and Disney separate is good still, because one thing Warner Brothers does better than anything Disney does is animated TV shows. Yes. And they've been doing it better since the 80s when they first came out with Superman and Batman shortly after that.
Most recent was Tom and Jerry. Was
well,
kind of a good example.
I mean, like, just strictly DC. Like, DC's been running animated stuff since the 80s, and they've still been running most of that stuff. Like, Teen Titans. Young Justice was a fantastic series that's still going on. On like, I still have to finish that series because they kept doing season 3.
Yeah, I haven't seen season 3.
I saw the first half of it, and it's bloody because it's no longer on Cartoon Network. Like, they actually have straight up, like, people in beds just dead. Like, it's great. And DC's been picking up on the TV thing for a while with the Arrowverse. Arrowverse was technically, well, Smallville actually was one of the first TV shows on CW, and then that went on to Arrow. Arrow went on to Flash. Now it's really the Flashverse because
there was at least one other one between.
We've also had stuff like Swamp Thing and Krypton.
Which is, well, Krypton Sci-Fi. Swamp Thing was on the DCEU app.
I think there was another CW live action DC thing between Smallville and when they finally came out with the Arrowverse.
Not that I remember. If it did, it didn't last.
I don't think I was gonna say I don't think it went very far.
Because it was only a couple year difference between Smallville and Arrow. Smallville ended in 2010.
Yes and no, because Smallville was on forever.
Yeah, but
like Smallville lasted ages.
Smallville ended in 2010, and then Arrow picked up in 2012 or 13.
So 12.
12.
I'm
Okay.
looking at the list now. There's Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legend of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman.
That's all the CW current Arrowverse stuff.
Supergirl.
Constantine. Constantine was 2014 to 2015.
That's one of the other good ones.
That's probably what it was. And then Constantine, like, it went like 2-3 seasons maybe, and then died.
Yeah,
that was one season.
And then they went animated with it, and they brought him back for Lucifer tied the story between them too, because Lucifer came and picked up Constantine when they did their whole crossover event recently on CW with all the shows. Lucifer, even though it's on Netflix now, it's no longer on. That was CBS though, I think. But they still did a crossover and brought Constantine back for a little bit. And people were like, "We want a show again. We want him back." But no.
I just love the idea that the Lucifer show is a part of the DC universe.
Well, Lucifer, it's based off of the comic Lucifer, which is why people like go, "Oh, Lucifer's not like that in Christianity." I'm like,
no, it
it's
was
a
never
comic book Lucifer. It's based off of Vertigo.
Well, that's also why, like, we get those conversations with the other church people, and they're like, "How can you watch a show like that? It's about this, it's about that." And I'm like, "No, it's not. It's not about that guy. It's about this fictional character that happens to be based loosely, very loosely, off of that guy and the misconceptions of our mythology."
When the guy that runs Awana started coming to the church, I was watching Lucifer in the sanctuary, the main sanctuary, one day on the TVs. Because I had nothing else to do. And I was there every day, so I was waiting for someone. I think it was a Friday night. And he comes in, and I'm watching it, the last episode, and there literally was almost a sex scene, and his kids and him walk in, and I'm like, oh.
It's just,
I was like, hey, Pastor, how you doing?
I can imagine just coming up.
It's not even pause. It's just power button. It's, hi, how are you? Just turning everything off. How are you? I'm packing up, getting ready to get out of here.
Well, then he goes, you watch Lucifer too? And I'm like, oh, what? All right.
I don't know what's going on in the room, by the way.
I don't know either.
Bottle shopping.
But last thing also on the Snyder Cut, because I do think we want to wrap up soon, is the story that Snyder was trying to tell, and like he came out publicly with this, was the Injustice storyline. Where Superman goes rogue and kills Lois Lane, and Batman has to, like, that's why Batman and Joker work together. They were trying to tell that storyline, and I wish they did, because that is such a good comic series, and that is a good video game. Well,
CW, let him do it.
No, not
They're
CW.
not gonna let him do it.
Do it on HBO Max. Do it on HBO Max. Don't do it on CW.
HBO would probably be a better place for it now.
Owned by CW. Like, CW still has to let any of these things happen. Mm-hmm. They still have to stop meddling in it.
Not movies. CW is its own Warner Brothers channel, but like Warner Brothers has the actual say. Actually, HBO has the final say now.
Well, I mean Warner Brothers. They're all the same thing. CW is Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is CW.
But it would be better on HBO.
Specifically, I meant Warner Brothers, like the parent company.
It
Stop
would-
meddling.
It would be a better.
Stop getting greedy.
Yeah.
Marvel is what Marvel is because they took more than a decade to get there.
It
Because
would
they
be
took their time, did it right, built it.
2008 when Iron Man first appeared on my little 11-year-old eyes.
2008.
I watched that movie with my grandma.
What is that? What is that? 13 years?
My first movie that I watched alone was Captain America: The First Avenger, and I had a T-shirt that I got from when I was in Sheridan House. I rode my bike to the movie theater, went there. He goes, "Let me guess, you're seeing Captain America." I said, "How'd you know?" He's like, "You're wearing a shirt." I was like,
You're
"Yeah."
wearing a Captain America shirt.
I said, "Sorry, this is my first time seeing a movie alone." He goes, he gave me free popcorn for that, and I was like, that's why I love that Regal.
Here you go, child.
That Regal over by the Lucky Cat place or whatever place you like. That Regal is so like nice.
Did they survive?
I don't think so. I think when we went by there the other day, we were looking at places. I think they were closed.
They were closed though for COVID. Hope that one doesn't stay closed. That's a good Regal.
Yeah, but I thought
sucks.
Regal fully went bankrupt though.
I thought so too, but apparently it
I'm not
wasn't.
talking about Regal. I'm talking about the Lucky Cat.
Oh.
Okay.
He's more worried about food.
Jeez.
All right, Jason. Well, if anyone has anything else to add, speak now or forever hold your pee.
I do kind of have to.
I've been holding your pee all this
Okay.
entire time.
Well, I think we're going to go ahead and move on to the next thing. So,
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching our spoiler-free Snyder Cut.
Yeah, spoiler free.
We really didn't. If you saw the movie,
That's separate quotes on each word.
No, Jason,
Quote
if
for the word spoiler, quote for the word free.
if you saw the movie, you would realize I really didn't spoil anything. If anything, I talked about the original movie stuff and just kind of said that they're changed a little bit. I really didn't spoil much. He knows you're filming, by the way. I got you covered, Andrew. I told him to be quiet if he comes out of the bedroom because we're filming.
Sit down,
Yeah,
shut up.
He's like trying to tiptoe everywhere. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no,
He's in noise canceling, and I still heard it.
he doesn't know how to walk in an apartment. That's why I'm so worried when he moves out, he's going to be shot from the bottom floor. Someone's going to look up and just go, because that's what I would do if I heard him walking around. Like, I've lived in apartments. I've learned to not walk loud, and like I've snuck around you sometimes. Like,
I accidentally
watches you sleep.
people. I'm 285 pounds.
Hold on. There was one night he took so many sleeping pills or whatever. I fell asleep during watching something, and I woke up in the middle of the night. It was like 4:00. I look over. He fell asleep on the couch somehow. I don't know. He transferred from his bed to the couch, and then while I'm awake, he gets up and then just goes in his bedroom, goes back to sleep.
I sleepwalk when I am really tired. I sleepwalk sometimes. I used to turn the shower on, take a shower in the middle of the night.
You went from your bed to sleep to a couch.
That couch is comfy, dude.
Don't believe him.
You slept on that couch. It's not a bad couch to sleep on.
No, I didn't.
You said that the cat took your bed one day.
We're wrapping up, and before we go, I just want to make the point. Like, you're talking about him being so loud as he walks around. I am 285 pounds, and I accidentally sneak up on people. Like,
I've just weighed myself.
He weighs
I have a
what?
scale.
$150,
I don't
$180 at most. I
He's
got
fat.
100 pounds on him.
I got a
He's
scale
fat.
right here,
Sure.
Andrew.
Yeah,
I'm six-
Here, come in here. Come weigh yourself on camera.
All right. I can still hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me because I'm right here, and then we'll wrap up after this. We can still see ourselves on the camera. Right under there.
It is still so weird that his camera is backwards. He walked the wrong
It's
direction
not.
to get into your door.
That glass one under.
Oh boy. Hey, it's a fan.
It's our only fan, right there.
Step on it and then step on it and then. Yeah, 140. 47.
I was talking about Manny, but
You weigh 147?
140 pounds on him. 140 pounds.
That's dude. I remember I was like 12 when I weighed that much, bro.
Ow.
I got like 200 pounds on that at this point.
I gained some fat since I had the tooth problem.
You gained some
I
fat.
didn't
What?
eat
You
for
gained
a
a pound?
No, I remember I couldn't eat for like 2 weeks.
You gained
so
2
I lost
pounds?
a lot of weight.
2 pounds?
I was probably less than that when I had the tooth problem.
5 whole pounds? Wow.
Dude, I'm gonna get you some sugar-free gummy bears.
If I didn't, I'm not pooping tomorrow.
No, you will if you eat these. Satan will come out.
Chai, you need to put some meat on your bones.
If I barely had any sugar and like I was eating the right stuff, I could probably be around 100.
Your headset weighs more than you do.
I don't know.
It's the weight of that terrible mic. End it on the mic. End it on the mic.
Yeah,
this
switch
this
mics.
is the outro. Goodbye, folks. I'm dying. Good night.
Watch it just sound perfect.
Hey guys.
You get to
You
change
didn't
audio.
switch it, Andrew.
I know. I know I didn't.
Welcome to Wendy's.
All right, thanks, guys.
Dude, how could they ship something that bad?
Well, so he's using a modifier on it. I don't think he realized he didn't turn it off. But even the regular mic, Kevin, it has a Blue Yeti.
You can't turn it off. You can't turn it off.
Oh.
There's literally no way. It's a preset. It just stays
Oh.
on that.
So he has the mic you have, but it's like a smaller version put into that. And I told him when he first used it, I was like, "You sound like Kevin."
Well, I'll tell you. What I like about these headphones is that like when you're playing a game, listening to music at the same time, which is what I do a lot. I know Dennis does too. But like the music comes through the back, and you can hear the game up front. You hear the voices kind of in the middle. Like it's like full surround sound. It's really nice.
Anyways, thanks guys for watching. I gotta clean my ears out now.
Yeah, there's literally no.
You're muted,
Wait.
Jason.
Wait,
So
wait,
terrible.
wait.
Do I sound better now?
Worse.
Do I
Just-
sound like
just
I'm a
louder.
old-timer
How about now?
radio?
That's what you sounded like the other day. You sound like Kevin's mic.
How about now?
Yeah.
That actually that sounds like a normal, like that sounds like an Xbox mic. Like it sounds like it's not gonna kill me.
How
I've
about now?
heard I've heard Xbox mics that sound better than that though.
How about now?
You still sound like
These are all the presets I'm given.
Okay, that's a little. You got worse again, but
you sound like you want to like tell
How
my
about now?
mom to go and meet you at the corner store.
you sound like Noob Master.
I could probably end up fixing it because it's got advanced controls, so I can change like.
Just
The
switch
high
back to your
power
mic. It
noise
actually hurts.
Uh,
Oh, switch back, Andrew, please.
Bye.